Welcome back. If you haven't seen the first part of the series, then I'd recommend you click on the card above or in the description below. It'll say part 1 because this is part 2. Now, let's continue. Story beat 7. Break into Act 2. This is where you dive headfirst into your upside-down world you've established in Act 1. The MC must take a definitive step into this beat. He cannot be lured, wandered, or tricked into it. No. The MC finds this new path and begins to embark on or execute the plans that they set in motion at the very end of Act 1. The purpose of this beat is to truly identify what your MC really needs in order to win and be successful at life, and identify your MC's faults to your audience. Any faults or any tics, this may ultimately be a portion of what is holding your main character back. If your thematic premise was pretty subtle, please feel free to revisit it here through the lens of your main character. Give him a thematic premise checkup. See how your MC's doing. Put an obstacle in the protagonist's way and see how he responds. They still holding on to the same habits?
All right, and I'm out in public. Everybody else loves it.
Why are you being like this, Alfred?
I had a terrible ordeal today.
Or are they moving and operating differently now?
Fella, we'll just put a rug there. Sit down. Give me that. I'll give you 300. That's a standard freelance fee. Tear up page 1, run that photo instead. Headline? Spider-Man, hero or menace? Exclusive Daily Bugle photos.
Menace? He was protecting that armored
I'll tell you
car
what,
from
Atticus, you take the pictures, I'll make up the headlines, okay? All right? That okay with you?
Yes, sir.
How they respond will greatly influence how intensely you're able to beat them up later. It'll decide whether they just need a gentle push forward or an earthquake. I like earthquakes. Just keep this in mind, and this goes for all of your story beats moving forward. The more you set up, the more you will have to pay off later. Story beat 8, B story. This is the love story.
What are you doing around here?
I'm begging for a job. How about you?
The essential break required from the intense A story. Now, don't get me wrong. Each and every element in this beat sheet was created in order to push your main character forward so that he's able to figure out what he has to do in order to accomplish his goal. Even though the B story is here to give us a little break from the A story, the B story should have the pure essence of our theme. This love story provides an open forum for you to discuss the theme of the film openly. Our protagonist will draw his strength from the characters, concepts, and lessons that he's learned from characters in the B story to help push him into Act 3 and eventually achieve victory in the end. According to Snyder, we may visit characters who are the upside-down versions of those characters who inhabit the world of Act 1. Story beat 9, diving in, fun and games. Here, we arrive at the reason why you're writing your screenplay to begin with. Here is the heart of your screenplay. Have fun with this portion, guys. You should be exhilarated to write this section. This is the essence of your movie poster. This is also where most of the moments in your film trailer will come from. This is the reason why audiences all around the world are going to think your film is awesome.
Impressive!
This is the heart of your movie. Here we take a break from the heavy stakes of the movie and showcase intriguing elements about your film. Here, we see what your film's big idea is all about. Story beat 10, foreshadowing. This is a portion of your diving in section that occurs at the very tail end of it. This is where the main character begins to realize that he may have a deep-rooted issue that may be preventing him from achieving what he wants. He organically begins to actively work towards becoming better. Here is your MC's first real attempt to fight back against his central conflict. Now, this section may not be long. It may be just a second, depending on how your story is structured, but unfortunately, your MC is still trying to figure out how he should go about life correctly. He, in fact, took a huge step towards the right direction, or a huge step towards the wrong direction if it's a tragedy. Think of it as your MC trying to cover up his injuries with a band-aid when, in fact, he needs surgery. Because of this, the protagonist's attempt to solve core issues with his main supporting characters awkwardly fails.
Is it yours?
For a while.
Well, then you should keep it, Roman.
I don't have room.
Your new apartment.
I gave it up.
Why?
I'm going away.
Where?
This gives the audience a glimpse of what life could be like if the MC lived up to his true potential.
Why, Peter, you're bleeding.
Oh, yeah. I stepped off a curb and got clipped by one of those bike messengers.
Oh, let me see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that looks awful.
Oh, it's nothing.
I'll get the first aid kit. Then we'll say grace. This is the boys' first Thanksgiving in this apartment, and we are going to do things properly.
How did you say that happened?
Bike messenger.
Story beat 11, midpoint. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because according to Snyder, the midpoint until your all is lost section are the most difficult portions of your screenplay. At the midpoint, we have a peak in our story. This is where the writer raises the stakes. Fun and games are over. This is where your protagonist will experience his highest positive emotional high, where the hero seemingly peaks, though it is a false peak. Bad guys may be temporarily defeated, or the protagonist will experience his lowest emotional low, when the world collapses around them, though it is a false collapse.
Grandpa attended the ceremony. Oh. I met another girl, Dad. I really think this is the one. Her name's Lois.
The matching beat to the midpoint is all is lost. The rule is, it's never as good as it seems to be at the midpoint, and it's never as bad as it seems to be at the all is lost. This is their relationship with one another. Please click below, and I'll see you at part 3.